This is Matthew 13, verse 16. It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them." Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makar we double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Just real quick, man, I just had a conversation, with my father, and just pertaining this precept that I just read, and this is red letter. I don't have the option. I need to go into this option and into the option of the app and switch it over so you can see. But this is red letter, and what this is speaking about. Well, actually, this is going to he's the couple verses up. The Lord is quoting, the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah, I believe it's the 6th chapter and the 9th verse. Okay, and this is going into, it's a portion of the nation of Israel. Okay, which is comprised of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, and the Israelite foreigners, of course, that are scattered abroad, due to via the curses, okay, of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay, and this is speaking about a portion, 2/3 of the nation of Israel not being able to see or be able to receive, okay, the gifts, okay, the gifts of what, man? First and foremost, the mercy on the first part, or the first fraction of time, okay, because ultimately all Israel shall be saved, okay, but on the first go around, it's going to be the elect of the nation of Israel, okay, the 1/3, okay, what is that? Zechariah, the 10th chapter, excuse me, 10 and 13, or 13 and 10. I always get it confused, Salakia. But as alluding to that precept, and and coming down, as we read the 16 and 17, it says, "But blessed be your eyes, for they see, and your ears, and they hear." And then it goes, the Lord goes in to say, many prophets and many righteous men have desired to see the things which ye see, which is what we're bearing witness to are the prophecies unfolding. Okay, the prophecies that are actually happening. Okay, everything that the ancient men written down, the prophets of old. Okay, from the minor, okay, into the major prophets, everything that they're written down, they're either happening or are about to happen. All right, and the question that was proposed to me is, because I was discussing that with my father, he was saying, he was like, what do you mean? He was like, how can, in the time that we're living in, and everything that we're bearing witness to, all right, and in the things that we know about to come, how could they, want to see that? Okay. And, I had to explain to him, listen, well, first of all, when I brought this scripture, I had to explain to him matter of fact, let me read this. Much, um, much. I think it's an Acts, but I can't pinpoint it, and this won't let me. God, believe. Bear with me. I'm in transit, man. Got to get these done, somewhere. And it says, this is Acts 14. I'm just get straight to the point. Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorted them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay. So I should have, read this, to my father, but this is the deal. The prophets, though we understand what's being said here, is through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom, because you got to understand, Every kingdom that has come, in order for one to exist, in order for one kingdom to exist, one kingdom has to fall. Okay, and a falling of a kingdom isn't anything that's pretty, man. It's not a smooth process for a kingdom to go down. All right. Usually it entails war. That's how the Lord has, designed things, man. All right. But when you got to really put this into perspective, when you go to build, say you're going to build a new home or build a new house somewhere, build a property on a certain land, if there's already an existing, a house there, all right, and you want to build your home, right? And you've purchased the land. Okay, you've gone through the land. You've seen that it's wood, sections over here. There's old and decrepit houses. You know what I'm saying? It's got all types of mold and nothing that can be used. What do you have to do to that house? It has to be ripped down. Okay, it has to be torn down. It has to be ripped, and the foundation has to be rooted up. And that's essentially what has to take place for the kingdom of heaven to be ushered in. And that's why I said through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven, because it's a lot of things. You got to understand, man. This is a power structure. Okay, they are leaders and they are kings. Okay, dictators that are set up in positions of authority. All right, that, mind you, they don't want to leave out of that position. All right, but we understand through prophecy, through the Lord's will, okay, as is written, who have resisted the will of the Lord? Nobody. Okay, and what's written is going to happen. So, despite I guess the rebellious spirit or mindset that these kings of the land have now at this point, because we're living in America, okay, which is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon in the scriptures, okay, or spiritual Sodom and Egypt, okay, spiritual Assyria, all of those different kingdoms that are wrapped up in one, are here now, all right, but how the kingdom of heaven is going to be ushered in, all right, is through, because I just did a video, okay, to the victor goes the spoils. It's the King of Kings, okay, coming back to overthrow it, and him raising up his men, okay, which is the army. You go to Ezekiel the 37th chapter, which the army is being built as of right now, okay, but it's a spiritual army. This thing is being done spiritual, okay, and which eventually is going to manifest itself to be physical. Okay, matter of fact, that's in Daniel. The saints take the kingdom. Right, Daniel's. Yeah, that's a good one. Matthew's. No. It's 7 and 18. Right, so we understand when the Lord, cracks the skies, man, that He's gonna usher in. Well, actually, the process has already begun. Okay, we've been given, okay, the spiritual army, as I mentioned, it, one in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, that's being raised. Okay, is a spiritual army, and the way that we're fighting, okay, against this kingdom or against the powers at be is through the word of the Lord, through the prophecies, through everything that was written down, that was written aforetime, all right? And we're using it through via the sword, Hebrews 4 and 12, man. Okay, that two-edged sword. You understand? And what we're doing is we're chopping down the lies and deception, okay, of the biblical wicked, which is the self-proclaimed white man, which are the Edomites and the rest of these nations, because you go to Psalms 83rd chapter, they are in league with one another. Okay, they have come together and they have consented. There's a conspiracy. They've made a confederacy with one another, all right, to take us down and to cast and basically to take everything away from us, because they understand who we are and what our heritage is and what our inheritance is and what the Lord has promised us. You understand? And this is a part of this is Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever. So this process has already begun. The kingdom of heaven has already begun to be being built. You understand? That's what the Lord said. The kingdom come not by observation, but you should say neither low here nor low there, but the kingdom of heaven is within inside you. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. So each building block, which is, when you go to, what is that, Isaiah 9, and I believe it's the ninth chapter, I believe so, 9 and the 6th verse, it speaks about that government sitting on the shoulders, the government of the Lord, okay, which are the 144,000, all right, 12,000 out of each tribe, each from their respective tribe, from Judah all the way down to Issachar, okay, these are the saints. All right, and then going down into the 1/3, and then to the rest into the nation of Israel. This is who the kingdom of heaven is primarily for. Now, everybody on the planet Earth, if is going to get to participate in it, but it's going to be, which way are you participating? If you're not an Israelite, you will be in a state of servitude. Okay, that's going to be your deal. That's your job, man. All right, you go to Psalms. I believe it's the second chapter. All right. Scripture say, add to me and I should give the heathen for thy inheritance. And that's what be happening. That's what will take place. That will take place, man. All right. So the point being is that through much, the first scripture I quoted, read was that that many prophets, many righteous men have desired to see the times that we're living in, and they understood and that when you're looking at the prophecies and the things that that had to come, okay, the breaking down of one kingdom so another kingdom can rise. We want those things. We understand what we have to go through to receive the kingdom, and it's just going to be well worth it. It's going to be well worth it. More than what we can either fathom or believe. Okay. So that's the point, man. That's the point. I don't want to ramble on too long. Man, we, through much tribulation, we're going to enter into the kingdom. Many righteous men, many prophets, which we are those righteous men and the prophets, Lord's will, in the spirit, the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Okay. Listen, man, the men that are back then, prophesying, they're going to stand in the lot that they were in, in those days. All right. So, yeah, that's the point, man. So, so with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Shemi Abishai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.